All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing yet another beer from the Finback Brewery, and they are out of Queens, New York, and this is their Double Something Nelson. So they're calling this one a Double IPA that is dry hopped with Nelson Sauvin hops. It comes in at 8.5% alcohol by volume, no IBUs listed, time of review. This can is just under 1 month old. So recently I reviewed their Orange Crush, which was a Double IPA with mandarin and blood oranges. Pretty damn delicious. I gave it like a 4.3 out of 5. I've only reviewed one other beer within this series from Finback. It was their Double Something Citra. Awesome beer. I think I gave it a very similar score. I think it was like a 4.25, something like that. So this sounds like it might be right in my wheelhouse, and that's because Nelson Sauvin hops are pretty delicious. I like the whole white grape, white wine, gooseberry. I get a little bit passion fruit, so we'll see. We'll see what they do with this one. I'm pretty excited to give it a go. Let's give it a pour into the glass. So, yeah, that's pouring out like juice of some sort, you know, Double IPA juice, that is. So, yeah, that has this really milky honey orange color, very deep and dark. On camera, it's going to look more dulled. In person, it's milky, not as dull, but more milky. Has about a finger and a half of this nice creamy looking head. It's, yeah, I'd say like more of like a white to off-white, a little bit of hair on there. A little bit of alcohol legs too from the ABV. Looks beautiful. Let's get a nose. Oh my Lord. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. If you, holy shit. Okay, listen. I've had a lot of Nelson beers. I've had a lot of double dry hop with Nelson and dry hop with Nelson. Nelson is the key player. This is so Nelson heavy. I cannot see how you would like this beer if you don't like Nelson hops. On the flip side, if you like Nelson hops, this is the beer for you based on the aroma. We haven't tasted it yet, but holy shit balls. This is straight on gooseberries. And I mentioned this in another review, like, I want to say, was it 3 years ago? It was like a little bit around when I first started doing reviews. I never had a gooseberry. So I went and bought some. And I got an idea. Kind of grapey looking things. It's kind of like citrus, but like it's a weird fruit for me. But I enjoy it. And when I get it in a beer now, I can pick it out because now I finally have had the fruit. And this is gooseberry. But it's so big on like the white grape, but more like a white grape skin and not like the actual juice. Or like, you know, the juiciness from biting into a grape, more of the skin part. Slight white wine tendencies, like almost to the point where it has like a little bit of like an oak tannin thing going on. There's underlying citrus fruits like orange, white grapefruit, touch of a passion fruit. But holy shit, this Nelson shines in here. It smells delightful. It smells so different because, yeah, I've had Nelson in a lot of beers. I'm like, oh, you know, white grape, white wine, gooseberry. This screams Nelson. Like doing this blind, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, totally would tell you it's Nelson. Pretty sure I would, though. I'm telling you, that's how intense the nose is. Let's hope the taste is just as good. Cheers, everyone. That is a delicious Nelson beer, Nelson Double IPA. Wow. Get you some of this if you like Nelson hops. Body on this one's like medium, higher side of medium, 8.5%. Cool. The mouthfeel it's not really creamy, but there's a nice softness on the palate, but it does have a decent, I'd say this is like moderately carbonated, but it does have a nice soft kind of finish to it. Not like the best body and mouthfeel from Finback, but still pretty damn solid. The taste, Nelson shines, no questions. Like the aroma translated like 95% into the taste. Right at the tip of the tongue, there's like a little bit of like this bready, more of like a biscuity, almost crackery type of like malt sensation. Carries on throughout the palate, very underlying, omnipresent, but like the fifth or sixth character, it's under the palate, but it's carrying all those hop characters. Yeah, there's a big blast of gooseberry, white grape skin, and then a little bit of like a white wine type of thing going on. Underneath that, though, is passion fruit. There's passion fruit. There's a little bit of pineapple, touch of like a candied lemon lime. That's the front of the palate. As soon as it hits mid to like 2/3 of the way through the palate, there's a bitterness, and it's a moderate bitterness. And it's kind of this earthy, dry, almost floral-esque kind of bitterness, which is really different and cool. To me, this isn't like overly, there's a little bit of herbaceous, but it's not overly dank or herbaceous, but it has a little bit of that. It's more like it's more like an earthiness and like a floral kind of feel to the bitterness from the hops. It finishes semi-dry, moderate bitterness. There's enough of that sweetness in the first half of the palate, where on the back end, it balances it out because it is sweet up front. And it's funny because that gooseberry white grape type of thing, I said in the nose, it was more like white grape skin, so not as sweet. It's a lot more of a sweet grape up front than it was in the nose. But on the back of the palate, like it bitters out nicely. It dries out nicely. Really good. 8.5%. Hides the alcohol extremely well. Maybe a little bit of like a warming into the chest, but not much. I would probably guess this is like 7.5%, 8%, but not quite 8.5. There's a touch of a hop burn on the back of the palate, very minute. I feel like if I was drinking this like a couple days old or maybe less than a week old, I think that hop burn would be a little bit more astringent and big. But as is, it's just that there's a ghost of that left on the palate. Yeah, this is really nice. The aroma, like I said, carried over almost to a T. If you like Nelson Sauvin hops, and I don't know, by the time I post this, I have so many beers in backlog because I reviewed a bunch back in September of 2021, and I didn't start posting until early October, and I only do one a week. So, at any time, I'm pretty much, 2 to 3 weeks of reviews behind. So I don't know when I'm going to exactly post this, hopefully before the end of 2021. If not, if they brew this again at some point and you see double something Nelson and you love Nelson Sauvin hops, grab this one. I don't see how you would be disappointed because this is pretty much what I was looking for when I picked this up. So, rating. Double something Nelson from Finback. All day long. I'm going to give it a high 4.5. 4.55 out of 5. This is really nice for a Nelson beer. It's delicious. It's tasty. It has a great balance to it, but the Nelson hop shine. I don't know what like the base hops are. A lot of times beers like this, double something Nelson, they're dry hopping with Nelson, but the base hops, they have like a base recipe probably for this series, and then they just dry hop it with whatever they name it. But yeah, it's fucking great. So price point availability. $20 a 4-pack, I believe, at the brewery. I want to say I paid like $6 for that can. Again, I buy a lot of Finback stuff from the One Stop Brew Shop in Rochester, New York. They go down to the New York City and surrounding areas like once a month. They bring stuff back. So I can get Finback pretty much outside of a couple spots here in Buffalo that I occasionally get it. So paying an extra buck to try this all day long. Otherwise, probably not getting my hands on it. So, but $20 4-pack at the brewery all day long. This is a great beer. And availability, like I said, their stuff is sold at the brewery. You'll see some bottle shops across New York State get their hands on it. I think they're in a couple other states like Massachusetts. But Finback, here's the thing. I feel like I've met a lot of people who say Finback stuff's overrated, and some people that think it's underrated. I'm actually in the latter group because Finback, pound for pound, beer for beer, has really done it for me over the past 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years. Can't remember when I had the first Finback beer, but most of their beers are really fucking good. And beers like this, they're on par with a lot of my other favorite breweries like Other Half and Hot Butcher and things of that nature. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I think it's really damn good. If you've had anything else in the Double Something series, let me know what you think. I'm going to shut it down. Another Finback review in the books, plural, not in the book like a singular, but like in the books, like multiple. I do have a Fooder aged Pilsner from them and maybe one other. I don't know, again, when you'll see these in order, but hopefully at some point in 2021. Appreciate everybody stopping by. The next one. Cheers.